Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Podcast Demastered. I'm Chelsea, and I'm here with Wade as always. And this one's kind of a little bit of a bonus episode that we're releasing pretty soon after PlayStation had their PlayStation Showcase on May 24th. And so we are just going to talk a little bit about that, our reactions to things, games we're looking forward to. I definitely feel like this one was so hardcore overhyped. There were so many rumors surrounding this.
It was so overhyped, especially now that we're on the other end of it.
Yeah.
It was like, this is going to blow your minds. Like, this is the craziest thing that's ever happened.
Oh my gosh, for real. Yeah. No, I mean, we were both texting back and forth, like, did you hear this rumor? Like, there's no way they're going to announce this. And
not with this and this and this and this.
Yeah. No.
None of the this has happened.
Yeah. And I feel there was even more of hype because I saw a tweet earlier today that said it was something dramatic, like, it's been 600 days since the last showcase, so be ready for this one.
Dramatic.
Yeah. But it came and it went. And how did you feel about it overall?
I missed the first 20 minutes, I think. I was still getting out of work and trying to get the video pulled up and stuff, but I caught up really quick via Twitter on what I'd missed, and I was like, okay, nothing really. And then I watched some stuff happen, and then we were going, and we hit the new Final Fantasy 16 trailer, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm ready for that. I was already ready for that, but I'll take more of that any day. And then we kind of went, and we kept going, and then I saw Metal Gear Solid, and I was like, oh, okay. Oh, I know a lot of my friends who will be extremely happy about that. Yeah. I can be happy for people in this situation, so that's good. And then I was just kind of there until the Spider-Man stuff popped up. And then I was just like, oh, all right.
I get that. Yeah. No, it was funny that you mentioned the first 20 minutes or whatever, because I was laughing. I was like, none of this is a Wade game. It was just all shooter after shooter.
I know. I was looking at the tweets and the screenshots, and I was just like, okay. Caught up in 10 seconds. Awesome.
You're like, okay, done. Yeah. I mean, they did pack quite a bit into the showcase. I think for me, it just
oh, yeah. I mean, just the number of games that they had, that was a lot. It was a whole bunch of games.
Yeah, I think I counted it was a little over 30. So, yeah, they had a lot to show for. And I think it was exciting, at least to see that, at least half of them, are coming out this year. They all had release dates. Some of them actually had very specific dates, or they had the basic time frame of 2023. But yeah, I was it was a fine showcase, I think, in my opinion. It's just I just didn't fall in love with as many games as I thought I was gonna see. So
yeah, it's almost, I felt like they almost had an audience in mind when they put this together. I say that being somebody who is also a specific audience. But, the genres that I enjoy, they're not that narrow. It's just that when you don't like shooters or racing or sports games, in the Western market, that takes out a huge amount. And, the wide variety of genres that still exist outside of those three things are countless. But just being a modern gamer isn't always as fun, I think, when you're having to compete, I suppose, with those theory-specific genres. I grew up with friends who, especially more in the more recent times, well, if you don't play those three genres, what kind of gamer are you? Do you even know video games? And I'm like, I can't answer that question because your head might explode out of the answer I give you. But then some people see action, RPG, all of those other kinds of genres, they see those things as so small and insignificant in the market, and it's just it feels pointless to argue. They either get it or they don't. So, or you get the best people who like all the things and they're happy about everything, and that's great. I have some of those friends too. On these days when showcases and Nintendo Directs and stuff happens, those are the friends that I talk to because they can pump everything up, and I like that.
Yeah. A lot more positive experience.
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
Well, I want to save our little Spider-Man discussion for the end, since that was the last thing that was shown. There were a couple of games that did stand out to me. There was one, I think it was called Neva. It was that really cool art style with this girl with this big old wolf companion that had antlers.
Oh,
it was this
yeah.
really stylized. It almost gave me like Princess Mononoke vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to know more about that. It was very
Right?
pretty and very yeah.
I saw the cat game.
Oh yes.
And I was like, I don't know what this is, but okay, there's a cat. Like, what? I don't know what this game is. It was a cool trailer with a cat running around, and that's about it. There was no like gameplay or anything. It's just okay. I'll watch the cat. That's fine. I can do that.
Yeah. And then there was also the which I think it was a game that we had seen at a prior show, the Plucky Squire. That fun like little storybook adventure thing.
It looks so cute and like I want to say different, although like the concept's not that different because like other forms of media have like done this before. But to have a game where we're like, oh, you're in a storybook, oh, now you're in real life, like you're jumping back and forth between the two, that just is really cool.
Yeah, it's just that fun mixture, which it does seem a little bit refreshing at the same time. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully checking that out at some point. I think it's just had a basic date of 2023 at this point. Oh, we also, one of the other big games that was at the showcase, one that I was a little excited for, even though I've never actually played the first one, is Alan Wake 2.
The trailer looked really cool. I don't know really anything about Alan Wake, although, except for it's like somewhat supernatural. Is it like a detective, like a supernatural detective? I get like kind of Constantine vibes out of it. Kind of.
Yeah, because I've never played it, but it's in the same universe as Control, and I've already raved about how much I loved Control and everything, and that the first Alan Wake game kind of takes place before that, and it kind of, like, all I know about Alan Wake is that he's an author, and he goes to, like, with his wife and to, like, the Pacific Northwest to write a book, and then weird things happen to him, and your only weapon in that game is, like, a flashlight in the first one. And then the second game, apparently, yeah, the second one is supposed to be very, like, a lot more horror-based. And so I'm like, oh no, not my kind of game, but I'm so intrigued and so scared.
It did look a little like,
oh yeah. But
it
did look
little
so
no
good.
thank you for me, but
Yeah.
That's a pass. But it looked like I really liked how it was shot and stuff like that. It was cinematic, but not just cinematic. Like it had a lot of really cool moments just in the trailer alone. So it looks cool. You'll have to let me know how that turns out.
Yes, I'll let you know if I ever get the courage to play the first one and then that one. Were there any other games that stood out to you?
I saw the new Grand Blue Fantasy game. And I know like the internet has been chattering pretty heavy about this one. I've never played any Grand Blue Fantasy games. That's a series that has escaped me for forever. I knew it was there. None of them were ever big enough for me to like look at and go, "Oh, that's cool." But I guess this one is like kind of reinventing and pushing into like a bigger territory. Still don't know anything about it, but the trailer looked really cool. That's about all I got on that.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of a game, I thought this game was hilarious when they started playing. It was a new Square game. I think it's like a multiplayer shooter.
Is that the like battle royale shootery kind of thing?
Yeah.
What that looked like to me, I mean, it looks really like pretty, like the designs and the effects and stuff. That looks really cool. But what it reminded me of was Splatoon. It's like you're playing Splatoon, except it's not ink, you're using foam. And pretty anime people.
Yeah. No, when I was watching that, I was like, before they said what the title was, I was like, is this like a bubble bath game where they're just shooting bubbles at each other?
Yeah.
I was like, close. It was foam because it's called Foam Stars. And I was like, okay, we're going with that title. Okay. Foam Stars.
Square, and I hope it works out because Square has been making some really weird choices in games and other things the last few years. And I don't know. I don't know what they're doing anymore. They're a bunch of weirdos. The president of the company is, well, yes. The president of the company is like, has been the last 2 years like fanboying over the whole NFT thing. And he's like, Square's gonna like lead the way in getting NFTs into our games, and like that didn't end too well. Like the director of Final Fantasy 14 specifically came and was like, "Hey, we're never gonna put NFTs in 14, so please don't look at the scary man. Look over here. Don't pay attention to him. We got you. We got you." Yes. Because he
Cover
made a
your
comment.
ears. Focus this way.
he made a comment about wanting to include NFTs in like the Final Fantasy VII remake. And people were like, "Oh God, oh no, what are you doing?" Like panicking, hardcore panicking, because we all know how that's working out so far.
Yeah.
Although I'm a little surprised we didn't get anything on the remake of 7, the part 2. My words are not coming out. I'm a little surprised we didn't get anything on that because it's supposed to be coming out by the end of the year or the end of the winter. Which that leads into next year, but not very far into next year. But I wondered, after seeing the thing today, I wondered if maybe we're going to get a Square Enix Presents sometime in the next month or so. Pretty curious.
Yeah, I think there was definitely quite a few things missing that I was surprised weren't shown. But this is basically just like our little intro into the rest of the summer with all of the shows and announcements. So hopefully we'll see more of those games that we're hoping to see, or some of those that were rumored. I think a lot of those ones that were rumored are so far off that they were not willing to show anything. I think a lot of these games kind of want to show things a lot closer to them being done, because we've seen that.
That's healthier for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh my God, don't tell me about that.
Yeah.
I lived through the great Final Fantasy versus 13 scandal. So.
Oh my gosh, I remember that. Yes.
That was like a 10-year whole thing. Awful.
That made me so confused when I finally understood what happened with that.
And everybody can still be confused, because I don't think the actual facts of what happened in that situation. I am sure Square is like, we will be holding on to these facts until we're all dead. Like, great shame. I don't think anybody's willing to talk about that.
Yeah.
Maybe Nomura will come out and like go rogue.
It's very possible.
I mean, that man, he's kind of crazy in himself. He'll be doing a Kingdom Hearts thing and be like, "Let me tell you a story."
This is the story. Yeah.
He's gonna get petty. Or maybe that's what Kingdom Hearts 4 will be.
Yeah.
It'll be like versus 13, but if it were a Kingdom Hearts game. That's basically what that character is anyway.
Yeah.
Basically.
So true. So before the last game was shown at the showcase, they briefly mentioned some hardware.
Yeah.
Coming out.
Yeah.
That handheld.
I thought it looked really cool. Like just the design of it. I thought it looked cool. It's supposed to be just simply doing the remote play thing.
Yeah.
So the assumption is that like you have to be within a fairly decent distance of your PlayStation. Like you gotta be still kind of right there. But you also have to be on the same network, which isn't exactly a problem if you're 20 feet from your PlayStation. I have a feeling though that the price point for this thing is not going to be worth getting to sit on the couch. And I'm not sure. Even if it wasn't very expensive at the moment, I don't think I need it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how much more they advertise it and how much more like enticing it is when it comes. But I have never tried it, but I thought that on the PS5 though now that you just need to have like Wi-Fi and you can be anywhere. You don't have to be on the same Wi-Fi connection. Like you could be like in another state over and do remote play from like your phone on your PS5.
Huh.
But having like the actual controller part of that screen and stuff would be a lot nicer than trying to like Bluetooth a controller to your phone.
Well, like I hate remote playing on my phone because one, I don't want to play a PlayStation game with touch controls. Screw that. But then also I don't want to buy I don't either want to buy like one of the like mobile controller set thingies or like carry around a PlayStation controller in my backpack. I'm good. Yeah. I'm fine. I'll just wait till I get home.
I like the bigger screen too. Like that's why I like playing on a TV.
It looks pretty. Well, that too. The screen on this new thing, it looked pretty good. It looked even maybe slightly bigger than a Switch. So
yeah. So that was an advantage because that would be a lot bigger than my phone. But yeah, we'll wait and see. But yes, I guarantee this thing will probably be at least $400. That's my guess.
And see, if I was going to spend that money on this, I think I'd rather just get a Steam Deck.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to spend it on something like that, I would just rather buy a Steam Deck. Because then I could play modded Stardew Valley on my couch.
You could have
like
so
God
many more
intended.
gaming opportunities on that one. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we shall see with that.
We shall see.
Okay, should we talk about the final game, or are there any other games? Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'm good. Let's talk about it.
So it gets to be the end of the showcase, and you know how it is with all the showcases with PlayStation or State of Plays. They're always like, and here's one more thing. So you always knew something was coming. And then it came. And as I started watching it, we briefly talked about this before we started recording. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? They are not showing Spider-Man. Like, are you kidding me? I'm like, what is this? And then I was like, oh, never mind. It is Spider-Man.
See, and I was more stupid about it, I think. I thought it was legit, like, going to be a remake of Turok or something.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, I'm happy for all those people, but I'm not really sure it deserved to be like the end of a presentation. But then they started talking, and I was like, I am so stupid. It's Craven. So stupid.
I'm like, they got me.
Yeah, they got me good. But I didn't expect that to be so long. Like,
no.
Wow.
We got a good amount.
The first time we got like that for the first Spider-Man game, like I thought that was long too. Like the whole helicopter chase segment and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But this blew that out of the water. I don't think it was a bad thing. Like, it was good, but just wow.
Yeah. They were just like, we're not holding back right now. We're just going to, bam. We're going to introduce you to these characters. Yeah. Cool things you can do and stuff. Yeah. I don't know. It still doesn't have an official release date, but they are confident it's going to come out later this year. So
they've been saying, or like the internet has been saying fall for a while. And a lot of those time fragments say September, which is cool because the first Spider-Man game came out like right in the middle. It was like a couple of days away from my birthday. It's a wonderful birthday present to myself.
Yes.
So if that's the same this year, I would be so happy. I need a little bit of edgy Peter Parker in my life.
He's super edgy right now.
Oh gosh. But like the things that they're showing off like gameplay wise with like the proper Venom suit though, that was really freaking cool. And just the way that the suit looks, like the texture and stuff, it makes you go, ew, I want to see more.
Yeah. It was like, whoa, okay. And then, it was definitely when they were showing like the gameplay, I'm like, yeah, I wish I was playing this right now. It is so satisfying in both the Spider-Man games just to swing around, and like the action just seemed even crazier in the stuff we saw. Like, it
seemed more fluid even than the first one, and I thought that was just like the most fluid thing I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah.
And when they throw Miles out, like when it switches to Miles' perspective and he's like, and he starts swinging, I could feel it in my soul. I was like, oh my god, this is so like the physics and stuff. Again, the first one I thought was amazing as far as like the feel of swinging and flying through the air. It felt so like right. But now here we are in the second one, watching Miles just flitter around. I'm just like, but you can like feel the weight of things too, Oh my gosh.
Well, he like hit the gliding.
And the gliding. That was
cool.
Cool.
Gosh.
That was freaking cool.
I'm excited. I don't even care how good, bad, or whatever the story is. It's another Spider-Man game. I've loved both of them that have come out so far. They are well made. And it'll be fun to play on the PS5.
And then after this comes out, we get to look forward to the Wolverine game.
I know.
We'll have to see there. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine because they're handling Spider-Man just fine. And like now we get to see like mutants. Like in like this more like realistic setting in a game, like okay, that's fine with me. I mean, I don't really want to be playing as Wolverine the whole time because I don't care for Wolverine all that much personally. But if I get to see everybody else, it's fine. I'll deal with it. Yeah,
I'll be very curious what they do with that game. So, but I'm
sure
that's
I need to see more of the setting and stuff. So maybe it's. I hope it's not like, oh, here's Logan before he was Logan and he's out in the Canadian woods being a lumberjack. I hope it's not that Wolverine.
Hope not.
That's boring Wolverine. Yeah. Get that out of here.
Well, I have confidence it should be something interesting.
It better be.
Surely.
It needs to have Honey Badger in it. His weird clone daughter person. They're messed up.
That's very specific. Okay.
Yeah, him and his clone children. I need to write a paper about that. It's complicated.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she'd be like his clone granddaughter, right? Because she's like a clone of Laura.
Oh.
Which is already weird because she's a clone of Logan.
Then you have his like other children. Yeah,
you have Dakin, who is his actual son, but you know, it's fine.
It's fine not to talk about
It's fine. I like Dakin. He's okay. He's basically just like Wolverine 2.0, except Japanese. That's all he is.
Actually, kind of going off of that, so this is our like episode. We were just talking about the latest PlayStation showcase, and we're moving into like Summer Game Fest coming up, which we will be discussing that in a future episode. Now, it reminded me of Marvel games because there's some other announced Marvel games that are in the future, like the game that was teased last year at the Disney showcase, the Black Panther Captain America. Yeah. I hope to see more of that in the coming months, maybe.
I had actually forgotten about that one. Like, that one is so far off in the far future. Like, I just completely forgot about that one.
Yeah. I was like, we probably won't hear about it in a couple months, but that'd be so cool if we did.
Just another little teaser, please.
Yes.
Something.
Indeed. I don't know. There's some good games coming out and some stuff to hopefully that we'll be able to talk about that will have shown us, or we would have seen a little bit more at the Summer Game Fest.
It's not too far away, is it?
No, I think it's about, 2 weeks away, roughly. So this episode will come out before our last episode of May, which will wrap up our AAPI month, but then we'll be moving on to games in the summertime.
Indeed.
Well, listeners, that'll do it for this episode, our short little bonus episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know if you watched the showcase and if there was a game that stuck out to you. As always, be sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to this podcast so you don't miss out on our latest episode. And follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PodDemastered. Thanks so much for listening to this bonus episode, and we hope you check out our upcoming episode to round out our AAPI month.